Hey, welcome to Sports Unfolded NBA Ranking Show. I am your host, Eric, with the big man right over there, the big dog. Kenny, how are you tonight?
Doing good, doing good.
So each and every week we do our NBA rankings, create a little bit of controversy, some questionable, moves. But as we do them, we release them on a Monday. Sometimes some things change during the course of the week, but we stand by what we've done for Monday, or at least Kenny does. So that's why Kenny's here tonight to kind of break down because there's been some fans that have kind of questioned some of the moves. But I will start off by bringing up that list so that we can kind of discuss where we're at when it comes to that. So at number 5, you had the New Orleans Pelicans. At 4, the Memphis Grizzlies, the Brooklyn Nets, which I called. I told you it was going to happen.
Yeah.
In at 3, I guess you've seen enough now, in your words. Boston Celtics at 2, and then the Denver Nuggets take over the number 1 spot. So, first and foremost, a couple of teams that you left off the list that some fans did question, Milwaukee being one of them. And then Cleveland, I kind of still question that one. And then very sneaky, 7 straight wins for the Dallas Mavericks. They're very close to making the list. Again, 22 and 16, I can see why they're not. But any particular reason why you dropped Milwaukee off the list at 24 and 13?
Uh, they're not playing to their full potential anymore. I mean, it looks like they're sluggish. They need some rest. You know.
So I guess I would say Giannis 55 points. We've seen a lot of scoring in the NBA this week. A ton. Donovan Mitchell 71 points. Was it Luka with 60 and 20 and some things? I mean, we're seeing some stuff. What do you think the reason for that is? So Giannis at 55 points. He's definitely trying to prove a point as well. But why do you think we're seeing so much scoring in the NBA?
Yeah, superstars are getting hot. Kids are getting hot. They're enjoying what now. I know LBJ is mad because he 21 points in Cleveland. So
you think that's it? Yeah. But even LeBron, what 2 back-to-back 40+ games at 38 years old? Like he's doing some stuff. Like is it a lack of defense or defensive preparation now in the NBA, or do you think the guys are just getting that much better at scoring the basketball?
That much better at scoring the basketball. That much better to getting to the basket. That much better to shooting the 3, easy layups.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy, man. It's a different league than when we were growing up and what we watched in some of those defensive battles. I will tell you that the "Do You Remember" segment that we will do after the rankings, a lot of it's based on some scoring and some scoring accolades that happened in the NBA. So a little tip there for you, just to kind of get you going. But let's start off and discuss this ranking. And at number 5, you had the New Orleans Pelicans, who are 23 and 14. I did not update that one for you. Actually, I can do that right now. I probably could do that right now. Let's do that while we 23 and 14, right, my friend? So we are going to update that. And then we will do this. Look at how easy this is now. There we go. We're back on track. 23 and 14. But they are 16 and 4 at home. Very good at home. 7 and 10 on the road. We talked about some of their road struggles. They're third in the NBA in scoring with 117.4 points per game, 113 points against, which is 14th defensively. 5 and 5 in their last 10. So again, basically a 500 team. Big injury news. Zion Williamson will be out about 3 weeks now. Obviously, that probably hurts them from remaining on this list next week.
Oh,
correct?
Yeah. Most definitely.
So games at home with Houston and Brooklyn. So that's a big game. And then at Dallas. So how big of the Zion injury do you think it's going to affect them? Do they in these next 3 weeks, is it they have enough on that team to continue to at least win and stay above ground, or does this injury hurt them and they kind of fall back down into the middle of the pack?
Yeah, the injury hurts them. Zion scoring 62.1% in the paint. So that's where they're getting their paint from. And it's unbelievable because last year he was 47% from free throw. Now he's shooting 70.3%.
Yeah.
So
Look,
he's got
the player that. Yeah, we know the kind of player Zion is, and we talked about it in the past, but the injury bug continues to haunt this player, and it's just unfortunate because the expectation was going to be, and I think he scored a career high this past week. I think 43 points, right? 47. So again, there's the expectation that he was starting to become that player that you could depend on each and every game, and here we go again. Is a 3-week injury that ultimately could affect the team in their status on this rankings, but in the NBA overall.
Yep.
Look, a big game against Dallas. I mean, let's not sleep on the Dallas Mavericks now. 1-7 straight. Luka's single-handedly carrying that team to victories. I mean, there's a good possibility they overtake them in next week's rankings especially if they get that game at Dallas.
Most definitely.
So another team that's kind of been disappointing now is the Memphis Grizzlies. So the expectation on how much better they would be, 23-13 right now on the season, 15-3 at home. Again, another very good home team, but 8-10 on the road. 10th overall in scoring at 115.4 points per game. Not 8th defensively, so 111.1 points they're giving up. 6-4 in their last 10. They have won 3 straight. But I would say games at Charlotte, at Orlando, Utah, all winnable games. Is this get right week for the Memphis Grizzlies before our next rankings?
They have to. They can get to the basket, but can't shoot the outside jumper. The last game, they shot 17% from 3, but they got to the basket. They need to equal it out. They need shooters to shoot because the defense is real out there.
Yeah, I think you made the comment last week about them kind of saying they're all set in the West. And I think they're starting to realize, like the Denver Nuggets, who we will discuss later on, very strong, extremely tough team. And then you got some teams that are making some noise now. Again, we talked Dallas, New Orleans, still a competitive team. I mean, that Zion injury could hurt them, but and then you start to look at some of the teams that we expected to be there. Golden State, even with the Steph Curry injury, have moved up a spot. Like they're starting to win some games. And the Lakers, as much as we bash the Lakers, they're starting to score. LeBron is starting to take over. The West won't be as easy as we think it is.
No.
And I think Memphis has to start to realize that, because if you can't win on the road,
yeah, right.
I mean, you're not going to play all your home games in the postseason and at home. You're going to play on the road. You need to learn to win those games. And you're going to tell me going against a Chris Paul, a Devin Booker, who again is out for Phoenix, when he gets back, and what Phoenix might be, a Luka, you know what I mean? Zion, a healthy Zion, and then what Denver has. You can't tell me Memphis just cakewalks in the playoffs. They need to start to play some better basketball now.
Yeah, right now.
So kind of crazy to think about. They're just overlooking the rest of the West. Kenny, I am so glad you brought the Brooklyn Nets onto this list at the number 3 spot, 25-12, 13-5 at home, 12-7 on the road, 12th overall in scoring, 115.2, but I believe that was kind of that slow start that they had. 110.8 points allowed, which is 7th in the NBA. Believe it or not, the highest defensive team on this list. 10-0 their last 10 games. They've won 12 straight. Games at Chicago, at New Orleans, and at Miami this week before our next rankings. I need you to tell the fans out there why you finally put respect on the Brooklyn Nets and put them on this list, which they should have been. I think it's a week too late. Kenny, I'm calling you out on this one, my friend. I have to do it because I don't understand how it took you this long to realize that they're playing good basketball.
They are. They're playing tremendous basketball. a row. They average 123.5 points per game. They're scoring. They're playing together. The only question, when are we going to see Ben Simmons? That's the only question. When are we going to see
So
Ben Simmons?
yeah, I look, you're correct on that, but think about KD 29.6 points per game and Kyrie
Yep,
26.2.
Kyrie.
They're both just saying, look, we're going to put this team on our shoulders. We're going to carry it regardless of what we're getting from anybody else. We're going to make sure we will this team to win. It's scary to say this, but we talk about Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown as the best 1-2 combo in the NBA.
Yeah.
I am pretty close to saying KD and Kyrie, the way they're playing, maybe a notch above right now.
Yeah. Yeah. that 1-2 punch right there. Whoo. It's unbelievable.
In your point, look, we haven't seen. What were you expecting from Ben Simmons regardless? Do we really think Ben Simmons was going to be anything but what he is? I mean, he's a playmaker, a rebounder, an assist guy, but he's not a scorer. He never
No,
has
not a
been.
scorer. No, never has been. But I was expecting him to do a little bit more with the Brooklyn Nets. I thought he was going to be, a double machine, and now it's just like you rarely see him.
Listen, if he can put it together, I mean, they're ridiculously scary.
Yeah.
Because then at that point, what do you really stop? I mean, you're not going to stop Kevin Durant from scoring. We know that. Even in the playoffs against Boston last season, Kevin Durant got his points. I mean, the turnovers were a factor. I don't think Kyrie really wanted to play. But again, you get a motivated Kyrie. After that whole situation and him being suspended and kind of what happened there, here's a player that used that to his motivation to say, look, I came back. I'm going all out. I'm going full throttle. I slammed on the gas. Now it's go time. So that's scary for the NBA.
Oh, yeah. Real scary. Fun fact, last year, the only two teams that won 12 in a row, one was Grizzlies, December and January, and the Suns.
Oh, the Suns.
The Phoenix Suns.
Wow.
January to February.
Wow. So there you go. And you think about it, both of them made, pretty good, significant playoff runs.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's safe to say. The Brooklyn Nets, if they continue to play this way, are a playoff bound team. Not that they weren't before, but I think that this could be a team that could honestly win the East.
Yeah.
By the way they're playing right now.
True.
So, every week we do this to ourselves, but we're going to talk about the Boston Celtics. 26-12 right now, 15-5 at home, 11-7 on the road. They are the number one scoring team in the league at 118.6 points per game. 15th overall defensively, though, and that was their strength last season. 113.3 points given up a game. They're 5-5 in their last 10 games at Dallas and at San Antonio before our next ranking. I think that Dallas game's extremely important. But I want to talk more about what happened against OKC, the Oklahoma City Thunder. They gave up 150 points in their last game to this team. What is going on with the Boston Celtics and their defense?
November 3rd, November 30th. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We had the best offense in the league. Best offense in the league. December, we turned into the worst offensive in the league.
That can hurt you. Yeah.
That can hurt you. So I don't know if it's fatigue. I don't know. It's they're just like overconfident. We used to blow out teams, but now it just goes up to the wire or we're getting blown out. Look at that. Look at that. The first mistake was going against Denver. Okay. I thought it was going to be a cakewalk, but it wasn't.
You even said it while you were watching that game. You didn't realize how good Denver was.
Yeah,
like how many players on that team are just, scoring.
It was like a shooting clinic. It was a clinic. You really don't get to see West teams on TV because
Yeah.
they're too late, or they're blocked out.
Oh, they cover the same team. The Lakers
Oh
seem
yeah,
to be on every Wednesday
yeah,
night or Friday night,
exactly,
or
yeah, exactly. Oh my god.
so.
And they're not
Go ahead.
shooting the three well. They're
Yeah,
not
and I
shooting the
think
three well at all.
I'm glad you brought that up because if you think about it, Brogdon was shooting lights out. Al Horford was shooting over 50%. Like we knew this
Yeah,
was going to come back down to earth at some point. It wasn't
yep.
going to continue. How much can Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown do to carry this team without getting help from that bench? We talked about it. If Kyrie and KD can do it with Brooklyn, would you not feel Boston should have the same kind of success with Tatum and Brown?
Yeah, we can do it, but we just need the others to step up. I mean, it was surprising to me when I found out that we went 6 years, Celtics 6 years without any player scoring 40 points. 6 years.
I think
And
I
I-
think okay. Yeah. I mean that is a crazy stat. Crazy stat.
It's
Is
crazy.
that regular season? That's regular season.
That's regular season. Yeah,
Okay.
regular
Gotcha.
season without scoring 40 points.
Okay.
And we won in 2000 and we won in 2008.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me Paul, Kevin, Ray Allen didn't score 40 points a game? None of
Yeah, I
them?
don't. Pace had to
And,
have.
and that's
No?
because they were sharing that. No, that's because they were
Yeah.
sharing the ball, which was good. They were sharing the ball. They didn't have one superstar. We had
Gotcha.
three.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think we said who was going to be the third guy to step up. I mean, Smart is definitely playing more point guard and doing that role, but he's not a scorer. He's not
No.
let me rephrase that, not a consistent scorer.
Yeah, consistency.
They don't have a third guy. They just
Nope.
don't. They don't have a guy that they can depend on. And I'm still going to continue to question the coaching decision because I think they're taking this lightly. And I don't think we would have seen the same thing from Ime Udoka.
Mm-hmm. True.
I think he would have said, look, defensively, they're not playing well. And you need to tighten it up. How do you give up 113.3 points per game? I think last season it was somewhere in the 106. I mean, I could be wrong, but I believe it.
Yep.
That's 7 more points a game.
Yeah, you're right.
It doesn't seem like a lot, but in some of those close games or some of those games where, again, you're not giving up 150 points to Oklahoma City. That's not happening. Not the defense they played last year. This team, I think they sit back sometimes and they just, they take the punches and don't swing back.
Yep.
And unfortunately, as soon as they get to the playoffs, I don't know if this team can go far as we thought they were going to go based on what we've kind of seen all season. They've been too streaky, too inconsistent.
Yep. Don't get me wrong, when they're on, they're on, but when they're off.
But think about what we saw in the playoffs last season. They were off against the Golden State Warriors.
Yep.
They were off.
It
only takes one series. You get them facing a Milwaukee or facing a Brooklyn or again. Why did we beat Brooklyn 4 straight? Brooklyn was off. They just couldn't make shots when they needed to. They couldn't hold on to the rock.
Yep.
You could say the same thing's happening in Boston right now. We're starting to see that. If that's your playoff caliber team, then you're going to struggle in the playoffs. You're not going to get through the playoffs based on what we're seeing right now from them. This is not an Eastern Conference Finals team that, is playing for a championship again this season. If they can't figure out how to defensively play more consistent and then get your third scorer, which we've talked about, it seems like for the last 5 years that Brown and Tatum have been here, that who's the third guy? They just never been able to do it.
Sam Hauser. Put Sam Hauser in there.
Sam Hauser, bring it. I like it. I like where we're going, Kenny.
He's clutch for 3. Clutch from 3.
Oh boy.
I see him. Is that Larry? Is that a young Larry? Because he be drilling him from the corner.
I don't know about that, my friend. So I think whatever was in your water bottle, you may want to share it with the rest of us, because if Sam Howell's is your answer, we're one and done in the playoffs. One and done.
I call
All
the
right,
buzzer
so
beater.
that interesting team at number one, though, the Denver Nuggets, and we saw the big game against Boston, and we said that was a game that them beating Boston kind of probably propelled them into the one spot. 24-13 right now on the season, 14-3 at home, 10-10 on the road, so they're a 500 team. Sixth in scoring, 116.4 points per game, 17th defensively though, 114.5. So they've got to improve defensively, but 7-3 in their last 10 at the Clippers, and then home for Cleveland this week, which that's a pretty big game now, thinking about where Cleveland's at. We've talked about the Joker and what he's done: 25.6 points per game, 10.8 rebounds, 9.5 assists, and 1.4 steals, all leads the team. But you can say collectively, they've got enough guys: Jamal, Aaron Gordon, Michael Porter Jr. We talk about a big three in the NBA and teams trying to form that big three. Could you say they have a big four?
Yeah. Bones Highland.
Right? Another guy that's scoring.
Oh my gosh. I did not see that coming. I watched that game and it was just like they might win the West. If they keep like that, they are going to win the West.
And you think about it.
Matter of fact, I'm
What?
betting the house on Denver Nuggets. I'm betting the house on Denver Nuggets.
All right. I called this. You didn't listen to me.
I didn't
I
listen
said
to you.
Denver. I like this team with Jamal Murray coming back healthy and Michael Porter Jr. staying healthy. If those two guys could stay healthy, now all of a sudden you're getting contributions from Aaron Gordon. He's your third best scorer.
Woo!
Right? He's bringing back those Magic days, man, when he's dunking over people and you know, the mascots and the dunk contest. Like, he's playing good basketball.
Very well. Very well.
And then you said it, Bones Highland, and they getting guys that normally wouldn't score playing, because Joker takes so much of your attention defensively, and he knows how to find guys that are open. All you got to do is hit shots. You got to be able to make your shots.
Exactly. And he sets the tone. There I am thinking, oh, he's going to sit down. Okay, we're going to go for a run. What? No run. Them boys just kept running and running and running and running, dunking, shooting the three, taking jumpers, getting to the basket. I was just like, this team is really, really good, and they can win the West.
Yeah, I was sold on them during our NBA preview show. If you haven't checked that out on Rhode Island Broadcasting, but I just felt like they had the pieces. It was more about an injury thing, because you have to respect Joker. I mean, he's a two-time MVP. The man is just a walking triple-double. And for his size, and it's hard to defend, and he can shoot. Just, there's no weakness in his game. We talk about some of the greats right now in the NBA. Greats. Go ahead. His name has to be up there.
Yeah, it has. It has to be. It has to be, because this guy can play. This guy is organic. Against us, 27, 10, and 11. Oh my God, yo.
And that's like you said, there's no weakness in his game. We did an interview once, Ron and myself, on Sports Unfolded with the Providence Pirates, and we talked about we had a triple play, and Jokic was actually his pick as a player. He would take over, who he would start over anyone else, just based on the fact that he says, how do you defend somebody who's that big and can do anything a point guard can do? And then he can still rebound like a center, and he can shoot like a shooting guard.
Yep.
Like, it's something we haven't seen. I love Giannis. I think Giannis is probably the most dominant player in the NBA. Dominant.
Yep.
But when you talk about just skill, you could put Joker at shooting guard, at center, at point guard, and he'd be successful.
Yep.
that's a making for a championship team.
Yeah, it
All he needed
is.
was other guys to contribute, which he's getting.
And he's getting
Can
right
they
now.
sustain it though, Kenny? That's the question. Can they sustain it? Will this team be the number 1 seed in the West when it's all said and done?
If Jamal Murray can come back and give him a little bit, because Bones Highland is doing a great job. He is doing a great job out there. But I think they really need Jamal Murray.
Yeah, and again, Murray, I mean, he's a second leading scorer.
Yep.
Again, health's going to be the concern with him as well. I mean, yes, he's back. He seems fully healthy, but that was a serious knee injury, and it could affect him
Yeah.
at some point down the road.
Mhm.
I love this pick at 1. I'm telling you right now, I think this has probably been the best list we've had all season. So great job with the list. Let's bring that list back up, Kenny, before we get into Do You Remember? And at 5, New Orleans Pelicans, big injury to Zion. Kind of concerned that they won't be on this list next week. Memphis Grizzlies at 4, Brooklyn Nets at 3 and climbing, 12 straight victories for them. The Boston Celtics at 2, could very well see them drop out of that spot as well based on their recent performances. And the Denver Nuggets at number 1. Kenny, I need you. You're going on the line. Milwaukee back on this list next week, or is it going to be a different team?
It's going to be a different team.
Which team do you believe it will be? Who will crack this list next week?
The 76ers.
Back on the list, the 76ers.
Yeah, back on the list.
Back on the list.
I hate to say it, but Brooklyn might be 2.
Okay,
and the
next
Celtics,
week.
And the Celtics might be 4.
Okay, all right. And who falls off the list if the Philadelphia 76ers get back on?
New Orleans. New Orleans falls off the list. Yeah.
Pretty confident in that bet, right?
Yeah. Yep.
All right, my friend. Well, great job. But it is time for Do You Remember? And we'll see if you do a little better this week than last week. No pressure, though.
Ready.
No pressure.
All right, no pressure. No pressure.
All right, my friend. I'm going to give you a lot of information on this one because I'm trying to give you one early here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. In 2004, the Boston Celtics selected this player 15th overall. You're like, Eric, why you even bring this up? Because today is his birthday. January 4th is his birthday. He was the 15th pick by the Boston Celtics in 2004. He's 6'10", power forward / center, played 3 years with Boston. Nickname, Big Classic.
Big
Who was
Classic.
the player? Big Classic. I didn't even know that was his nickname. I'll just tell you that much.
Big Classic.
Sportsreference.com. Check them out, man. They give you all kinds of information.
Big Classic.
Big Classic. 2004, 15th round, a 15th pick overall in the first round. Boston Celtics, 6'10" power forward.
16 power forward, Big Classic.
I don't know if I could. I might. Well, while you're thinking for a second, I don't know if I want to give you the school. Let me see what school you went to.
Who won a championship in 2004?
Oh my! Now you're asking a lot. Oh, how about this? How about this for a stat? If I tell you this, you may get it. You may get it, Kenny. Didn't even attend college. Straight out of high school. You didn't see this one coming.
Oh my gosh!
Big Classic, baby. That's I don't know. It is not a very good nickname.
2004.
2004.
The Big Classic. Fast forward. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Huh.
Whenever you're ready, I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready? All right. I got to get rid of this.
I know it's Eric Montross.
Nope, definitely. Montross was earlier than that.
No, it's earlier than that.
All right. And this week, so a very happy birthday to one Al Jefferson.
Al Jefferson.
Al Jefferson.
Big
3 years with the
Really?
Boston. That's what they on sportsreference.com. It is his nickname is Big Classic.
Big
Not
classic. Oh,
a very good career with Boston. I looked at it. Career
no.
average was like 10.7 points per game. But again, straight out of high school. And then he
Yeah.
played some years with Minnesota inside where he averaged over 20 points a
Yeah.
game in his career.
Yeah.
So, or his time in Minnesota. So I just think, again, it's typical Boston. You come here, what we got, big ticket.
Yep.
That happened with Chauncey Billups. It happened. Ron Mercer didn't play as well when he was here, when he got
No.
drafted. And
No.
then they go off to another team. But Al
Mhm.
Horford, I think 38 today. 38. So January 4th, Al Horford, happy birthday. All right, my friends. You're 0-1.
Don't you mean not Al Horford?
Al Jefferson. See, I'm
Al
out Boston. Al Jefferson.
Wait,
Good
Al
call.
Jefferson.
Good call. Happy birthday, Al Jefferson. Al, if I
Mhm.
don't think it's your birthday yet. All right.
Okay.
So this next one, because we've talked about the great scoring that's happened in the league in the last week or so. There's just been some amazing scoring. So we know Wilt Chamberlain scored the most points ever in an NBA game, 100 points.
Yep.
Kobe is number 2
Mhm.
with 81 points.
Yep.
This next player is actually 3, 4, and 5 all-time scoring in a game. Who's the player? So they have the 3rd, 4th, and 5th most points scored in an NBA game. Who is that player?
Scored 81
Wilt's
points.
1, Kobe at 2.
Yep.
Who's 3rd? But 3 times now, 3rd, 4th, and 5th all time. It is the same player.
Mm.
It's a tough one, my friend.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I know it's not. Not Jordan. Definitely know it's not Jordan. Definitely know it's not Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan didn't score 70 in a game.
No. Hell no. No. And what's his name? Just scored 71.
71. Yep.
Yep.
Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell scored 71. And that's the first time he ever done it.
Yes, sir.
I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
So we'll go with LBJ.
LeBron James is your guess? LeBron James is your guess. Okay, my friend. So this was a trick question. And I'm going to tell you why. So at number 1.
And it's wrong.
Was Wilt Chamberlain, correct?
Yep.
At 2, Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
At number 3, you
Wilt
ready?
Chamberlain.
Wilt Chamberlain, my friend.
Yep. I know.
Not only is he number 1, he's 3, 4, and 5 with 78, 73,
I knew it.
and 73 points.
I knew it. I knew it. I don't know why. I don't know why.
I got you thinking, bro.
Yeah.
I got you thinking, my friend.
Yeah, you got me good.
Yeah, 3, 4, and 5 is Wilt Chamberlain. So not only is he the number 1 all time, he's 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah.
Kobe kind of ruined him from being 1, 2, and 3 with that little 81-point game.
Yeah, right.
But that is an interesting one, my friend.
I knew it.
So
I knew it.
0-2, my friend. And I think you're going to be 0 for 3 because your statistical number on the Boston Celtics may be incorrect. Because there's been 2 players that have scored 60 points in Boston Celtics history. Which 2 players have scored 60 points in a game is the all-time high for a Boston Celtic in a game? There's 2 players that have done it.
Mm-hmm.
This may be an easy one, but it may not be.
Oh, jeez.
2 players have scored 60 points in Boston Celtics history in a game.
I'm supposed
Which
to know
2
all
players?
Celtics. Okay.
If you weren't paying attention, this is a second scoring question. See, a little bit of scoring.
I'm pretty sure Larry did it against
Okay.
against the Blazers.
Maybe. Okay.
maybe I know for a fact.
Okay. Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Or was it Chicago?
There's a chance to earn a full point. So, right, if you get both of them right, you get a full point. You got an opportunity if you're correct with Larry Bird. I'm not sure you are.
60 points.
60 points in a game.
60 points.
All-time Boston Celtics high in a game. 60 points. 2 players have done it. Your first guess is Larry Bird. Who's your second? I love the. I love.
I should know. I should know this.
You should definitely know this.
I should know this.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Oh my gosh, yo. Oh, let's see here. I don't think Paul ever did it. I don't think Paul ever scored 60 points. I don't think he. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on.
I mean,
wait,
Pass
hold
was
on.
nasty, bro. Pass, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's
was,
up there in scoring.
That's why we call him the truth.
The truth, my friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
I got Paul Pierce.
Uh-huh.
You know, I definitely know Paul dropped 60.
Okay.
Because it was either against Cleveland or New Jersey.
Okay. So Paul Pierce and Larry Bird are your two guesses?
Nope. Paul Pierce and
okay. I feel like I'm gonna have to have some game show music while you're doing these sometimes.
I'm gonna say Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey Billups. So Billups and Paul Pierce is your guess.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Chauncey, big shot Chauncey. Oh, that was Detroit though.
Just let me know when you're ready.
All right, I'm ready. Go ahead. I'm ready.
Chauncey and Pierce are your guess, correct?
Yeah.
So you actually lost a point because a half a point because you had one of them correct.
Oh, it was Larry?
And that was Larry Bird.
Larry.
Jason Tatum in April 30th of 2021 scored 60 points. So that's where I say, so I don't know where your number came, but maybe they didn't score 40. They scored 60.
No. What year did he score 60?
2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago.
Yeah. So it's from 2006 to 2012.
Ah, okay. So, yeah, April 30th, 2021, Jason Tatum dropped 60. Larry Bird, March 12th, 1985.
And that was against the Blazers, right?
I can find out for you if you want to really know the answer. I can definitely do that.
It was either I'm pretty sure it was the Blazers. Because two nights later, didn't McHale drop like 52 or 56? Yeah.
Let me see here. So Jason Tatum did it. It doesn't give me the team.
No.
Let me see. Hold on though. You never know.
Because I know Larry did it against Portland. Who did Jason do it against?
Players with most points in Boston. They both tied. It's the same stat. Oh, well. All right. One more thing. Let me see if I can find it here. Larry Legend and Jason Tatum. Oh, we don't want the music. Tatum was against San Antonio.
Wow.
And let's see, Larry's. Tatum was San Antonio, which is kind of crazy to think about. You say Popovich and all that.
I know.
I just realized I was probably sharing them, wasn't I?
Wow. I forgot all about it.
Oh, the Hawks.
The Hawks?
Yeah, Kevin McHale broke the Boston Celtics for most points in a single, which was made by Larry Bird. Bird scored 53 2 years
Yeah.
ago. So then it was
Yeah.
and then Bird
Yeah. 2
goes.
days. Yep.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's kind of crazy. I remember that now. But
Yep.
yep, that was our Do You Remember? Kenny, I want to thank you for your basketball insight.
No problem.
I want to tell the fans out there that if you want to follow us on any of our social media platforms, that ticket's been running. So just check that out. And then check out Sports Unfolded with my other co-host, Ron, every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Rhode Island Broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. That is all live. That is fan interactive. You can jump in, join in. You get predictions. You get an opportunity to give your predictions on some of the tough weekly games. We just finished up this past season. So we will be doing season 3, episode 1 this Friday. Looking forward to that. New year, new season. And we're going to continue to give you our rankings each and every week. Kenny, I appreciate all you do for Sports Unfolded. I appreciate your basketball insight. And I will see you next week, my friend. You take care.
You too. You too.
All right. And all we have asked for is peace in this world.
Peace.